What's up, guys? LQ here. Let's talk about Expedition 11, Season 1, The Legend of the Sunken Pyramids, or something like that. The Sunken Treasures of the Nile, The Sunken Pyramids of the Nile. I don't remember what the title was called, but it was a great episode. Josh Gates, by the way, I'm a huge Josh Gates fan for anybody who doesn't know. I love him all the way back to Destination Truth, Expedition X, Expedition Unknown, even his live show. I love them all. I'm a big fan of the character, of the person. And this first episode is a two-parter, so I've only seen episode one. And his two-parters are usually excellent because he's really taken a deep dive into the subject matter here. And in this subject matter, um, he goes out to Sudan, I believe, south of Egypt, and he starts exploring the temples of the Kush Empire. The Kush Empire was an empire that was often at war with Egypt. Sometimes Egypt conquered them, other times they would push back, and there was just a constant war there. There was also a lot of overlapping of their cultures. And um, so they both built pyramids. And what was cool about this episode was, due to flooding from the Nile and ground saturation caused by that flooding in the Nile, one of the pyramids that they were exploring in this actually its lower chambers were flooded. And Josh and the experts working on the site, they actually had to scuba dive through these different chambers to try to get to the tomb that the king was being held in. And and they actually went through the three different chambers basically blindfolded. They couldn't see anything, and there was a guide rope that was guiding them. And they and they would eventually get back there, and they would open up the sarcophagus that the king should be buried in. We don't know for sure if he's buried in there yet. We'll probably figure that out in part two. um, and they start getting all the muck and stuff from inside the sarcophagus, starts putting it in buckets and taking it out. It was a really tense episode because of that. And I love the tense episodes. I love the episodes where you really feel, okay, Josh is literally putting his life on the line for this show, for this expedition. So much stuff could have gone wrong. I realize that they take every single safety measure that they can, and that Discovery's never going to green light it if it puts him into too much danger. I'm pretty sure that there has been some destinations that they have not allowed him to go on because of the danger factor. So I realized that there was a certain level of safety that existed in this, but when you're doing diving like this, especially cave diving, this is essentially cave diving, it's never safe, right? This is dangerous, dangerous, dangerous diving. And you can really tell that even though they're experts, they're risking their lives in the pursuit of discovery, in the pursuit of finding truths that have been hidden. And I love that stuff. That stuff it just speaks to me at a primal level where I'm like, yeah, get into that cave and explore. And just a tense episode. Loved seeing the backstory behind the Kush Empire. Loved learning about their conflict with Egypt and the overlap of their societies. And I love the aspect that we might have a king in there that has not been found, the mummy of a king that has not yet been found, that has possibly been preserved underwater in a mummified state for all this time. Um, that's fascinating, and I'm really looking forward to seeing the next episode to see how all this pans out. Um, Guys, I have a degree in history. Now my degree focuses a lot more on American history, a lot more on American history actually. But I took a lot of world history classes, and in those world history college level world history classes, and in those college level world history classes, that the Kush Empire is an empire that I've heard of, I've known about, but I never really took a deep dive into the Kush Empire. And it's this episode has caused me to read up on the Kush Empire, to learn more about it, to um, dive into the history that's there so I can understand it more. And that's what I love about this show also, is that it encourages education. It encourages learning. It encourages us to widen not just our educational view of the world, but our worldview in general. introduces cultures, introduces history to us that we just didn't know and didn't have any kind of real connection to. And this connects us to it in a very real way. So I love Expedition Unknown. This was a great first episode. Can't wait to see how this plays out. What did you guys think of this episode? Let me know in the comments below.